Is Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Tom Shampoo.
Oh, Jen, that was your turn. You go
No,
second.
I used to be second, but not anymore.
I waited.
I'm Jen LeClaire.
I'm Sam Hammer. Hey.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, the full cast. It's a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, and we're fully staffed tonight on the front
We're
lines.
staffed
Anyway, behind the
up.
scenes, nobody can see the disorder and chaos behind the scenes, but on
They
the
can see it.
well, there it has a way of seeping through throughout the show, but
Like
we're
a
trying to
grease
maintain appearances,
That's-
and so here we are all together.
Yes.
Jen is between visits to other continents and whatnot, so thank you for joining us this evening.
All right. A surprise visit.
Yeah, thank you. I was used to saying my name second, but I would have thought that after all this time, you guys were.
Oh.
You just saved that seat for me. I appreciate
We've always
that.
held that spot.
Oh my
That's
god! I
right.
appreciate
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, I'm headed back over across the pond again tomorrow. Actually,
Ugh,
Yeah.
I know.
hurry back. This
I
is
know.
ridiculous.
I know. 2
already.
weeks. I'll be
It's,
back in 2
it's
weeks.
like a fun vacuum. You know what I mean? That sucks everything away when you go away like that.
Right.
It's very true.
I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be wicked smart when I come back.
Wicked.
Wicked smart.
Nice.
Is there anything that you would like for me to tell, the Queen, or if I get a chance?
Yes, she should return Tom's. I'm not going to say what it is.
If you see
Which
William,
Tom and
yeah,
I can't divulge.
oh,
if you see William and Kate, tell him he still owes me $100.
okay. All right.
Hey, so what's been going on around the neighborhood?
Oh my gosh. All right. So very quickly, I know everyone, we talk about our neighborhood a lot. I get it. We're like very located. We're high density of people over here in Russell Park. But
Yeah.
I have to just say thank you again to some of the folks in our neighborhood. We had what we call Russell Park Kids Camp last week.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was kids in the neighborhood on like 4 different blocks, 42 campers, 18 counselors made up of kids, like a handful of grown-ups, just putting a week-long camp together. And I'm just so grateful that we landed right here in the middle of Utopia.
Yeah.
But with that said, there's a big block party at the end of Neighbor Camp where we watch a movie and do things. And so I do have some footage of some of the festivities. So bear with
Please
me.
share.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where'd
wait.
that come from?
Wait, we've got one more.
The
quick
power.
One. The power. I know. All right,
Yeah.
hold on a second.
Keep it on the left. Keep it on the left. Keep it in. Keep it in.
That's right.
Where's
Of
the
course.
wah-wah horn? Wah-wah.
Of course, Casella's wearing a button-down shirt to the kickball game, just to class the whole thing up a little bit.
So the kids obviously kicked your butts at kickball.
They did. They won. Yes, they did.
They won. I know they got a little. They weren't that close, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So there was kickball. There was like a dunk tank. The streets were closed. The adults got to partake in some festivities. I saw a movie going on at one point. There was a
Nice.
live band playing music.
yeah. I'm telling you.
So I really
I'll tell
do
you,
wonder.
Your neighborhood does it all. I have to say, neighborhood. I mean, Sam, you touched on it and you explained what it is. It's so impressive. It's all organized by the neighborhood, for the neighborhood. Like you said, tons of kids are participating. It's a week long of like science experiments and arts and crafts and activities. And it's really just incredible.
It is.
What you guys do
Yeah.
over there. So kudos to Russell Park. You guys really are an amazing.
Yeah, and kudos to Melrose. I mean, I think it's representative. We might be doing a little bit more than others over here. There's a lot of folks who are into that, but there's a lot of
kids,
block
too.
parties, and there's a lot of different things that happen in a lot of different parts of town. I've been invited to the occasional, other block party here and there, and it is kind of a Melrose thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Tom, I agree. You said that. I'm glad you said that because I do think it's also not just Russell Park, but it is
Right.
You see the slow streets kind of thing in some
Yeah.
places, and people are out, and I feel like that idea of the kids getting together, parents getting together, and feeling like it's an opportunity to connect in the way that you don't otherwise have is really fantastic all across the city.
There's
Yeah.
something exciting about closing the streets.
Closing down the streets and just
It is
hanging
fun.
out hanging out with your neighbors and in your neighborhood, getting to oh yeah, the horse-drawn carriage. That's true. Getting to
fun
know
have
your
horses.
neighbors. I think also like the neighborhood get-togethers and everything. It's really sort of a comeback from both like a backlash against too much social media and also like post-pandemic. Like people want to hang out with people want community. People want to hang out again. We had I was just actually before the show. I was just across the street hanging out with some new neighbors that have just moved in, and we were talking about kind of stuff that goes on. And we had one neighbor around the block who had to move out of their house. They had an electrical fire, so they needed some work done in their house. I guess a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't here for this, but a few weeks ago, as a welcome back to the neighborhood, there was a pig roast block party.
Wow.
Here a few weeks ago. Yeah, so you're right. It does happen all over the place, and it's really fun.
Yeah, it's a Melrose thing, and then of course you have things like Porch Fest, which is spinning up again
Coming
for September.
up, yeah.
September 24th this year. It's kind of a little bit more an end of summer thing, but I mean that vibe it permeates the city of Melrose. I would say.
I think so. And we just had that. I did not attend, but some of you did. That block party on the last day of school, right? What's that? Last Friday, or maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does. I mean, I do think Melrose does a really good job of just feeling and behaving like a smaller town where people feel like they know everybody and wave and hi and all that. So
It's neighborhoody, and we should cherish that.
yeah, that's the idea.
But Tom, you also got out of town this weekend.
I was out of the zip code. I was on a work trip to our nation's capital. I was down in Washington, D.C. for a few days, Saturday through.
Telling them to get their shit together.
No kidding. I just landed like an hour ago. I really did. I came here and I had to be on the show tonight, so I'm happy to be here. But yeah, so I was talking before the show that I was in the hotel today, and 3 women came down with protest signs, heading off to a march somewhere. I was in the Midtown DC, so you definitely have that vibe. And I think today, I don't know if you all watched some of the hearings today. Today was the surprise hearing day.
Yeah.
I was in my hotel getting packed up to check out at the middle part of the day, and I was watching the hearings. And they had this surprise witness who came on and just like opened up all kinds of new stories about what happened on January 6th. So it was a really weird day, but you felt it down there in DC. You just feel the buzz of people. I don't know if it's anxiousness or anger or everything in between.
Yeah.
But people are feeling a lot of strong ways.
It is kind of the place to put it out there. So I used to live in the DC area, and it is kind of it's kind of built for marches and protests and gathering. We were talking about gatherings, and it is kind of built for that. Where I guess we're kind of fortunate to live on the East Coast and within a short flight or driving distance or whatever. So I don't know what folks. I don't know how that happens in other parts of the country, but DC is kind of made for that. The buildings are low, there's wide open spaces, and it's kind of where you're supposed to go to do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
And well, for the rest of us back at home with all of the news, all of the change that was coming back. I did reach out to a few women's commissioners.
All right, wait a minute. You're going into the news item.
All right.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, you can't just casually meander into the news. That's a segment of the show.
Without the sound effect.
Yes. Now we're in the news segment. Sam,
right.
What's going on in the news?
All right, so thanks, Shampoo, for your transition into the news.
Right.
But I did reach out to a few women's commissioners, and I'll try to get to a few more about the events of last Friday and how it has impacted reproductive rights and healthcare. And so one of them had sent me a text that said, that the Women's Commission had actually done a forum on this a little over a week ago. So, and they said it was great. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to share it right now. So if you have any questions or want to get a little bit more into how this could impact us here in Massachusetts, I think Representative Lippert-Garabedian is on there. And so if you want to dive into some of that, there it is. And we'll be following along, and I'll try to get a commissioner on to talk about the work that they're doing and how we can help. We can help them.
Yeah, that would be good.
Here.
That would be fantastic.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've all heard. I'm seeing tons of links coming in about what you can do and how you. There's a myriad of ways that you can help. We're lucky to live in Massachusetts, but you can help our fellow women friends in other states who are being really impacted more than Massachusetts.
So yeah, Mass is a sanctuary state now. I believe they passed some laws the morning that the announcement was made last Friday. But have you seen this list that's been going around about companies that are now stepping up to pay for travel for their employees who are choosing to go have an abortion? Like there's a whole bunch of companies now that are coming forward saying that we want to support that effort.
Yeah, I heard a story on that though. That misses a large percentage of the women who need the care the most.
Yeah, the most,
So,
right?
You know what I mean? It's not a lot. Not necessarily. The Amazon workers or whatever doesn't hit people directly that might be most in need.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is there's more coming. Whether it's guns, prayers in school, it's like crazy time.
Gay
right
marriage.
now.
Right. Exactly. Like access to contraceptives themselves. It's really frightening. It's really frightening.
Well,
And so to your point, Kathleen, like I think I think people are doing what they can as they can do it, whatever that means. But that also includes, there was a young dad who climbed a bridge in protest in DC, one of the bridges. And he's like, I'm not a radical. I'm just a dad. But his point was we all have to do something.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I think at this point, I feel like either send people all your money or move into one of those states to actually have a vote. I feel other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing, right? Because then I'm no strategist or whatever, but it does seem like one side is playing a long game.
Yes.
And the other one isn't. And somebody made the point to me, which kind of hit home, that, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg had retired under Obama, this would be a different situation. And apparently he had even approached her about that at the time. So, and then I think there's another side of this that's playing a very different strategy for a long game. So.
Yeah. I've heard that before too. And I also feel like it's a question, why not? For Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But anyway, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to think about. When you start from a place of taking rights away from people, it's really not a good place to start,
Right.
So hopefully we're not going to be seeing more of that.
Right. But it is, again, this is where our national policy trickles into our municipal work. So thank you to the Women's Commission for putting something together. And, if the open carry law makes its way in through Massachusetts a little bit more, then maybe Melrose does need to get a little bit more active. We'll see how it goes. But this is why having a totally nonpartisan city government sometimes is hard to make a reality. So, right, Tom?
I'm not following that. I'm not following that, but what's hard to carry, or what you can carry in the open now are your potatoes from the farmer's market.
I was just going to say, kale, loads
all right,
kale.
All the kale you can carry.
Open carrying my kale.
I think that transition song needs a theme song, and that transition needs a theme song. It's a potato theme song.
Walk up music for the carrots.
Yes.
Anyway.
So
but it's a good point.
The story behind this is that the farmers market is the best.
Yes.
Kim O'Brien
Melrose treasure.
Yep. Kim O'Brien is their new manager of the farmers market. She is a gem. She
Mm-hmm.
is a rarity, a yes person.
A yes person.
Nice.
And thank you to Kim and the board of the farmers market for having just jumping into having a pride event. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome. The city of Melrose was there with some of their social services coordinators. We're going to have some of them on in a few weeks to talk about like their new process for like being a first responder for folks in mental health crisis. It was amazing, like all of it.
Yeah.
Head to toes, head to tomatoes, or whatever they say.
Head of broccoli to
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Look at you guys.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
So Sam, you've met her now, Kim?
I have. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, good.
yes.
Okay, good.
She's
So-
fabulous. And then so I called her again over the weekend. I said, "All right, I got another crazy thing for you," and she said yes. So immediately on July 14th at the farmers market, in partnership with the Broken Leg Productions, we will to promote Shrek, which the musical, which is coming up at the end of July. We are going to host the Ogre Olympics.
Nice.
And it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have games, and we're going to sell tickets to the show. We're going to have ogre ears, co-producing with our own Izzy Cerise and Jody Olek down the street. Like, this is going to be fun.
Cool.
So more coming on that soon, but just save the date now. Like, don't go away anywhere.
When is it?
It's Thursday, July 14th.
Okay.
So don't go to London or Paris or anything.
I know. I'll be back.
Right,
I'll be back.
right.
I'll be back. I'm done after that. I'll be
Excellent.
I do love that the farmers
And I'm gonna
market
win some of those
is so
games.
active. It's not just going to shop. Like I was there maybe 2 weeks ago, and their families are just going like hang out. Like all the kids are playing with each other. I love that. We have a neighbor here who had a baby like 2 weeks ago, and she was walking to the farmers market with a new baby and her 2-year-old, and then her in-laws, and they're all like, "Oh, we're walking to the farmers market to go get our stuff."
You can spend all afternoon.
Yeah, I do like that.
You can
It's kinda
spend all
great.
afternoon there.
Sometimes I've been down there. There's like live music. There's a lot of other stuff going
That's
on.
Should be that
the
stuff, yeah.
Cultural Council sponsors live music throughout the whole season.
Hey,
so there
thanks.
are local musicians. Yeah, and they have there's all the farm stands, but there's honey, there's a crepe maker, there's a fish market, there's Indian food. It's incredible. It's great.
I was wondering where the games are, like the kid games, like the giant Connect 4 or like the big Jenga tower or like
Oh, there you go.
That would be a good addition. Yeah, I have one of those Connect 4s in my
Well,
shed.
we're going to have to bring it.
Yeah.
Speaking of connecting the dots, that doesn't make sense. So I was shocked.
Well, actually, this is. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was shocked to read in the paper on the front page that the City of Melrose Zoning Board of Appeals, the ZBA, is looking for 2 people to join.
All right.
This is
Yeah.
a
no,
chance-
the trouble is you're supposed to have qualifications. Now, if you read the second paragraph, they talk about experiencing qualifications.
Know something? Ah, rats.
They're,
Tom,
they're
you
like,
got a commission of some sort. Tom Catalini.
Tom
You have to
wants to
make
know if there's a parking
decisions.
spot.
Tom needs to make civic decisions, I think.
Yeah, that's a good fair point.
you just need professional experience. Doesn't say
All
any
right.
kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
An interest in the built environment, which you do.
We have,
A passion
Yeah.
for contributing to the city.
Yes.
Oh, we have.
Demonstrated.
The ability
Yes.
to think critically and voice opinions during public meetings.
Done and done.
Overqualified.
I might be. You know what? I think I'm overqualified.
Did you say anything about sound effects?
You'll come in as a chair, Tom. You'll be like, I'm instantly in charge.
I forgot to
Right.
read the part that says for the civil engineer and builder role.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm out. But you know what? So this you'd be talking about stuff like this that I saw in the Facebook group, which is right down the street from the farmers market. This post, which I can't read now, but there was a plan. Somebody was talking about the planning board, which is different than the zoning board of appeals, but the planning board was meeting to talk about this proposed building, which is. Do I have that right? Down the street from the farmers market, it's by the train station there.
No, this one. No, this
Oh, it's
one's
the
up
Franklin.
on
It's
Franklin.
next-
This
it's
is up.
next-
This is up on Franklin.
Next train stop up. So there's a proposal for this, and the woman who posted, I think, was probably opposed to it, and there was a lot because there was like 100 comments on this. I didn't go through all of that,
Oh,
but
wow.
it is interesting to kind of see what's going on in town if you pay attention to some of these meetings. So I don't really have an opinion on that, but that's the kind of
But it's
stuff
happening.
that these boards get to decide or
Yep.
are tasked with deciding.
Right. Look at
All
that.
right.
There we go. There's
So
a
there's a-
qualified
All
candidate.
right, cool.
So
Yay.
Melissa,
All
if
right.
he gets on or if he wants to interview live, we would love to speak with him here first, and
We-
then we can make a recommendation.
We could have
We
all
would-
the candidates appear on the show.
Together, and then have like a battle off of some sort.
Right.
Or we could just do a head-to-head Melissa's husband against Tom Catalini. Who's better as a candidate? And we'll just like
Right, to
qualification back.
prove once and for all I shouldn't be on any commissions whatsoever.
Who's more opinionated?
Right.
No kidding.
Oh my gosh. So I totally forgot in our notes to put in the thing I read about Foss Park. So there's a meeting tonight.
Oh yes.
It happened
yes.
at 7:00. Because I don't remember, I forget a year and a half ago, pickleball courts suddenly appeared.
Pickleball.
Pickleball
And then-
gate. Pickleball gate.
Yeah.
And then graffiti appeared shortly
Yeah.
thereafter, and then people were mad. Well, the Parks Commission has held a meeting tonight to see if we could figure out let's be clear, they can figure out how to do both. They
Yeah.
really believe that there is room to do both. Put
Basketball and
back.
pickleball.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Does pickleball involve a net?
Yes.
It's like easy tennis. I think I've never played it, but I feel like
so
it's
there's
like,
a net, so
look
you'd
at
have
this.
to.
It's what? What's
You're
the
gonna
matter?
get some comments about easy.
Tennis.
Isn't it I'm picturing like a badminton thing where you like it's slow and you like
It's a smaller court. It's a smaller court and smaller rackets. It's a little bit like almost like pro Kadima. Like it's a smaller, smaller ball, smaller court. But essentially it's probably it's a cross between tennis and ping pong.
tennis
maybe,
and ping
but-
pong. So
I mean,
easy
it's-
tennis isn't going to fly.
Tennis is not no.
All right.
Well, anyway, I can't wait to hear.
Tennis for wimps. Yeah, not
Yeah.
that either.
See?
Yeah, no,
All right.
not
So
that.
we'll keep it
Wait,
ready.
hold on, please.
It
Hold
is
on,
the- it
please.
is the fat.
Thank you, Jess Dugan.
I don't think she was talking to you.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
she was talking to me.
Right.
So where are the pickles in this whole situation?
You got a BYO.
It's the fastest growing sport. In fact, so much I told you earlier, there was a couple articles on NPR. Not only is pickleball the fastest growing sport, but naked pickleball also.
That doesn't
Sign me
make
up.
any sense.
I would like to go shorter than tennis and not see.
Not
Thank you,
easy.
Melissa. Thanks for clarifying. It's not easy.
People are already revolting against your comment,
Yeah.
Tom.
I know.
Not
I
easy.
know.
Pickleball,
It deserves
not
it.
easy. It's a
So
real-
on a
I
related note,
really want to learn how to play.
I've been getting back into pickles. So I haven't had pickles for a while. Right?
That's-
I mean, how satisfying is it to open a jar of pickles, take out a big dill pickle and crunch on it, right?
Dill or sweet? Dill or sweet?
Dill.
So-
Dill.
Dill.
Are you?
Yeah.
So then you want to make some? We're going to make some with Molly Phillips in about a month.
Oh
You
boy,
guys-
that's next level stuff, though.
You guys
That's
do that
like-
every year, right?
I just buy it.
No, we did
Yeah.
it once, but
You
we had
did
Yeah.
one.
like.
She's coming back. I want in on that.
All right.
how long is that? Like a whole day?
Yeah,
Is
I
it a
wanna
half an
teach
hour? Like I have no idea how long that.
It depends on how many people are helping.
I thought you were going
Okay.
to say
All right.
depends
But how
on
long
how
does
many
it-
pickles you want to pickle.
They're good, and if you
Yeah.
make some, you get some. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
Count me in.
I'm in.
okay.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm
All right.
in.
We will show
Count
you.
me in. The
It's
dill,
interesting.
right?
Why don't we do this? Oh, Sam, here is
Spicy.
idea number 3 that we should pitch to the farmers market. Why don't we do it at the farmers market?
Demonstration. I love that.
No.
It's not. I don't think
You
this
need
is an outdoor
fire
thing.
and-
I want access to a
okay.
sink.
Okay.
And open air. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Speaking of open air, if you see a strange-looking machine in El Pond between July and August for the next 3 to 5 years, it is the mechanical harvester that is cleaning up our invasive water chestnut.
Invasive water chestnuts.
There's a robot doing this.
Yeah, it's like a scooper.
Wow,
Yes, it needs,
the
the
rope.
best way to do it is to like yank it out, but like with the harvest.
Okay, that's probably going to be a GIF
Don't be surprised if we see that again, Sam.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
That's coming back to next week's show.
I don't know. I don't know if
John
I
says it
would.
stinks up the house, by the way. I don't know what he's talking about, but something
The,
stinks.
the chestnuts.
So
Oh,
you
Mason
create
chestnuts?
mankind creates this robot and says go yank on the things and just sets it loose. That doesn't see. This is like the whole artificial intelligence thing we've been afraid of.
Oh my god!
How could
Yeah.
you put a machine in the water to do this?
So they used to. They
That's
used
taking
to
away
have,
somebody's job.
well, no, they used to have volunteers go in kayaks.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's why they.
You know
need
what?
a
You know what?
robot.
On second thought, I like the robot idea.
They get the robots, 'cause
It's
I'm not doing
21st
that.
century. I love it. It's brilliant.
Exactly.
Well, anyway.
Hey,
just don't get
speaking of
moving
robots, real quick. Speaking of robots, this is creepy. I just had to share it because it's so creepy. Amazon is coming up with an AI thing that you can now say, "Hey Alexa, can have Grandma read me a story?" And so Grandma, who's
Oh.
passed away,
Oh my
God.
god.
they can AI her voice and have that person read you a story. This is true.
Yeah,
This is happening.
that doesn't
No.
sound like a good
No.
idea.
No,
Ah.
no.
We're off
That
the
is
rails.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Off the
yeah.
rails. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Wow, I'm glad
I'm
Matt's
back.
watching. He's got us right back on track.
There's
no
nothing
idea.
I
We're
can
off the
do.
rails.
I love when
Nothing I
both
can do.
Dugans are commenting at the same time.
Right?
Speaking of watching things at the same time, I don't know. Well, Jen will be not in America for its birthday, for her
Right.
birthday, but the rest of us will be here. I don't
Yes.
know what everybody's doing, but on the 4th, which is Sunday, at 6:30.
Monday. Monday's the 4th.
Monday at 6:30 there is a concert at Mount Hood thanks to the Melrose Cultural Council, and the kids get free popcorn and lemonade, and it seems like a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I think they've been doing it for
Yeah.
a very, very, very long time. And yeah. There's music.
I read about this now.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the kind of music or band or whatever what kind of.
Patriotic.
Patriot.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's like John
Stripes
Phillips.
and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Nice.
Not blah blah blah. I shouldn't have said that. It's, blah, blah,
name-
Blah blah
Phillips-
freedom, blah
Yeah,
blah.
like, America. Blah,
Does it
blah,
say whether it's pink or yellow lemonade before I make my decision to attend?
blah. Will there be pickles or pickleball?
Well, you know
Oh my
what?
God.
If they were handing out dill pickles, that'd be a good
You'd be
time.
first in line. First in line.
Right.
Popular show tunes. Ooh, all right.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, and then congratulations, happy 50th to the Melrose High School class of 1971. They have their reunion coming up.
That's amazing.
Yes, and congrats to Mary Beth McAteer Margolis, who is on the planning committee.
Is that,
Yeah, great.
is that her year? Is
I hope
yeah.
so.
Hey,
I would, yeah. She just really nice. She just really liked those people. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Oh my
Wow.
God, that's so cool. Is
All
it?
right.
So is it? I kind of want to crash that. Is it here in town somewhere?
You can't crash it. You can't buy tickets at the door. So you do have to email a very nice woman. I will find her name.
Like Mary Beth? Maybe?
Not Mary Beth, someone else who's putting it together.
And Jen, while she looks, why do you want to crash it?
Right.
Because
Good question.
Because Mary Beth is organizing it, so I know it's going to be good.
Oh, okay.
It's at the Bellevue Golf Club, Saturday, August 13th, 7 to
Well,
11.
But when you show up, like, what's your? So you crash it and you're there. Like, what's your
No,
angle?
I'm
Everybody
kidding.
goes.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have a plan. You can't.
He's a
just-
photographer.
You could be the photographer. That's the perfect idea.
Thank you.
In
I was gonna say the help, but then you work like the photographer gets to
Yeah, I don't
move
have to work.
freely, gets to move
Talk
freely.
to
The photographer
people.
gets
to
talk to
talk to
people.
the
Gets
people.
photographer
You can
gets
even
hungry.
crimp people, like fix their collars and hair. and
Pose
stuff.
them, take a couple of
Fluff.
shots. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know,
Fluff.
photographer.
I just want to go in there and be like, "Do you remember the time?" and like make stuff up and see if people are like, "Oh my God, yeah."
Absolutely, you have the wardrobe from 1971.
Oh, you could pull that off.
Me?
Hey, so
Yeah.
was this?
I
what
have
do you-
my velvet Birkenstocks now.
Or your August 1971 shirt. That's
Oh yeah.
boom.
I don't know that I want to show up and tell them like, "Oh yeah, I was just born that year."
Hey,
I would not appreciate that.
We have some mathematical showing off happening right now. John Hammer pointing out that isn't that 51 years?
Well,
and the
yeah,
answer is it was yes. It was a COVID year last year.
COVID.
Mr.
COVID
Hammer.
year.
So they're catching
John
up.
Hammer.
the catching up. That's all.
Yes, exactly.
So you know what that means? We could just celebrate our 50th anniversary this summer.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, you just well, you know, I didn't say it was 50 years. We're just celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Just in case something happens.
Yeah.
And there is some Melissa. I mean, thank you, Melissa. It just mentioned that Frank Sorrenti is retiring from Melrose Youth Hockey after 30 years of being
Wow.
president.
Wow.
That's dedicated volunteer. And thank you for sharing that. But also, like the sports section, thanks to Jen Gentili, is very. It's
Chock full?
always full of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to report them best because our sports reporter is overseas a lot. But a year to remember for Melrose High sports.
Nice. Good year for them.
wrestlers, yeah.
I'm sure people are happy that sports is back up and running fully after
Yeah.
a couple of years, kind of back
Right.
and forth. You know?
Yeah.
It makes a difference. And Melissa, thank you for pointing out Frank Sorrenti. That's terrific to hear. 30 years as the president of Melrose Hockey.
Yeah, he really kept that program going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All
That's all
right.
I got. I got nothing.
Sam, what else you got? Anything else?
That, I mean, that ends us on a high, but I am now getting all of our news from the weekly. Thank God. It's still coming
So-
out.
No,
If-
some
if
from
for some
Facebook.
reason-
We got some from Facebook.
If for
Take
some
it
reason
slow
you're
right
unable
now.
to read the paper, come on here and Sam's going to read
Right.
the news for you.
Right.
Jeff Carboni Insurance.
Both my
You
arms
know
fell
you're-
asleep. Can somebody
You
read
know
the
you're
news
not
to me?
alone when you're insured with Jeff Carboni.
Oh, look at that.
go.
But I was
That's
reading
catchy.
I was reading the paper and I forgot on which page, but I was reading and all of a sudden a friend of mine from Malden's name popped up. And it's telling her story about how she is in the sandwich generation.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Mm.
I don't know. We'll insert pickle jokes.
We're all in the
Find
sandwich
the-
generation.
Yes. But the Mystic
Right.
Valley
You do
Elder-
want a pickle in that.
Um,
It makes
so-
it better.
So my friend Ari, for Ariana, I already knew she had 3 kids, 15, 9, and 3, but I didn't realize that she's also responsible for her 78-year-old mother who lives with her and her family. So the Mystic Valley Elder Services, which hats off to them, they're an outstanding organization, does have a caregiver support group, which I just learned. So I'm going to put the phone number in there.
All right, thank you.
If you have any questions, but yeah, I guess we are all kind of in that sandwich generation.
Yeah.
So
With or without pickles.
I say my sandwich. I'm a hoagie. That's what I say. I'm so sandwich. I'm a hoagie at this point.
Yeah.
No. See, you can tell he's not from around here. It's a grinder.
We also have
That's
that
right. That's
suggestion.
right. Did you not go to D'Angelo's? Come on.
Yeah. Dude, hey,
Right.
kid, we'll get you a grinder.
Grind up. Awesome.
All right, guys.
Fantastic.
That's it.
Lovely. That's what
I
we got.
gotta pack. I gotta go.
I know you're heading off
You're packed.
overseas.
Are you not packed?
Are you kidding? Have we met? No.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
All right.
All right. Wow.
Well,
So
what
that's
about
it.
you?
All right, guys.
Bon
Um,
voyage.
Thank you.
Send us
So-
a video.
I'll see you around.
We'll have you back on when you come back to Melrose, back into the zip code, and then we'll just regale us with all the stories of European life.
I'll be celebrating American independence in the UK.
In the UK, in the
Nice.
Brits. Do what they do on July 4th.
Will you be back here for Bastille Day or will you be in France?
No, I'll be back by then.
So we'll celebrate Bastille Day then here.
Okay, that sounds
All right,
good.
good.
There you
We'll
go.
help you there.
Sounds good. Sounds
Fair
All
enough.
right.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks
Oh.
for tuning. What? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No show next week, right? We're gonna take
No
a week
show.
off.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
I was going to leave him hanging on that. We're going to pre-announce. You want everybody tuning in? No. No show next week because
No
of July 5th. We're not going to do a show next week for July 5th. We got Mark Hall lined up for July 12th for some kind of
Discussion.
I forgot the name. No. What's the thing where you toss the bean bags at the
Cornhole?
board? Cornhole World Championships formulating in Melrose with businesses and charities involved. It's going to be a great thing. So we're going to hear from him and find out all about that. So that's it. And yeah, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. And in between, we'll see you around town.